And we are live.
Woohoo! And welcome to episode 73 of TLC Tech Learn Coffee. I am your host, Lisa Nowakowski, and I'm a fifth grade teacher in South Monterey County here in California.
And I'm Nancy Minicozzi, also in California. I'm an instructional technology coach in Northwest LA County. And you'll notice that we have a new format tonight, so hopefully you'll be able to hear and see us. Well, actually, if you're just listening, our format's the same. Anyway, I want to remind you that we have a 15-minute format because ain't nobody got time for more than that.
Absolutely not. And Nancy, actually, we do have a little bit of a different format just for tonight's podcast. It is going to be just Nancy and myself tonight, and we're going to have a little recap of Q19, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. However, up next is our coffee fact. So, during the Second World War, coffee was rationed. It was only for
No!
a short time here in the United States. Dear, oh dear. Coffee rationing was introduced in November of 1942, and it only lasted, thank goodness, until July of 1943. So, like Nancy said, tonight's guest is us. Yay! We'll be talking about our adventures at Q19. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Q, it is a Californian organization that's dedicated to innovative learning. And their annual spring conference was this past weekend, March 14th through the 16th.
Yes, and it was lots of fun. So here's our question. How did we like some of the changes? So, Lisa, they changed the date and the days and the times. What did you think?
Well, I really did like the later start on Thursday, so I didn't have to travel on Wednesday. Um, which was nice. So I kind of saved a little bit of days there with making up sub plans. And yeah, I really did. I did like the day change and starting a little bit and staying through Saturday, like they had full day Saturday sessions. They went till 3 o'clock, I believe it was. And just kind of relaxed afterwards on Saturday and spent the night on Saturday night and left Sunday. It felt really relaxing. I enjoyed it. What did you think about the changes?
I did like it. I liked the full day Saturday. I actually met a teacher, bless her heart. She was a brand new teacher, first year teaching, and she paid for herself to come just on Saturday. And so I feel like because she wants to be the best teacher she can. And I told her she was going to be awesome. She already is showing that kind of dedication. But I feel good that she didn't pay her own money to come and then be done at 1 o'clock or whatever time we used to end. Um, I missed, I liked the Thursday later start. I did miss having that extra Wednesday night to meet with everybody and see people. But one thing that I really liked was that the exhibit hall was open before before the conference started. So I got to get in there without worrying that I was missing out on sessions or anything. So that was a lot of fun.
That was nice. I did enjoy that because in past years I would have to wait until the exhibit hall was ready to open. So we also started having sessions during the keynotes this year. So what did you think about that?
Well, I think that I personally usually really like to go to the keynotes. Um, so I went to the first one. I went to the duet keynote, which I did really like. And I missed the second keynote, which I was kind of bummed about, but I really wanted to go to a session that was at the same time. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I know they're going to live to show the keynotes later, but I don't often have the dedication to watch them online. I like to be there and be inspired on the moment. So I guess I'm kind of on the fence. What about you?
The first keynote on Thursday, I didn't have a choice but to miss it as we were presenting on protocols, so math reps and code reps and word reps. And I'm the same way, like, oh, it'll be on the video. I can watch it later. And like you, life gets going, and I don't always have the time or the dedication or the desire to go back and watch it live. So I was a little sad that I had to miss the duet. I did want to see both Martin Cisneros and Alice Chen, but I think it all worked out. It's fine. And I'm sure, I don't know what the hall looked like during the duet. I'm sure it kind of eased some of that tension of all of us trying to cram in there and then all of the overflow rooms as well. Um, so I did like the change that everything was contained in the conference center and like the conference center and the Renaissance Hotel, which are connected, of course, and then the Hilton Hotel. So it felt like I didn't have to choose. Like there are some of those years where you're looking at, oh, it's over at the Hard Rock, and you really kind of have to, plan it out to make sure that you can get there on time. How did you feel about just the containment of it all?
I agree. I think that's great. I actually, I was speaking to somebody today who asked me, "Oh, are you going to be sharing your learning from the Q conference?" And of course, I am because we're all about the sharing. But she was talking about how she really chose her sessions based on where they were because she didn't want to have to get on the bus or walk really far. And so I liked it. And it also felt more intimate. I felt like because it was limited to those closer locations, there was more chance of running into people, which of course is one of the, I know I'm skipping ahead, but that's one of the highlights of going to a conference like this is that you see people that you really only get to see a couple times a year at these larger conferences. And so by making it so close, you were more inclined to meet them because instead of maybe taking the bus, you would walk or it would be in the same area. So I felt like that was really good. I
Yes.
liked it a lot.
And going off of that, those hallway conversations, I was amazed that I couldn't make it down one length of the hallway without stopping and talking to friends and people I saw. For me, annual Q or spring Q always feels like a family reunion with people I like. Not that I don't like my family, but you know how it is. Uh, so you know
Absolutely.
that you just get to talk and catch up and connect, and yeah, I really liked that, and yeah, that was fun. Um,
It is fun. I will say one of the disadvantages is that you have to plan ahead because you can't say, "Oh, I have to go from here to here. That'll take me 5 minutes," because it'll take you 20 minutes. You're going to meet people and you're going to get stopped and all those kinds of things.
yeah, that is
So
true, but definitely well worth it. Um, and continuing on, Q has started to make the shift to a more green theme where they encourage us to bring water bottles, our lanyards, and the name tags are recyclable. So I enjoyed that as well. Go,
I did too. I will say that I I liked that. I like that they were making that move and that they were much more conscientious about it. Um, so yeah, that was a really good thing. I know that they're working on getting labels that will also be recyclable with people's names on them, but little steps. I think they're making strides, and so I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, I agree. And there are so many highlights for us. I know we already started talking about those hallway conversations and meeting friends and that we think of as family members, and all those great conversations. Meetups. So it felt like every single meetup was happening on Friday night at the same time.
Well, and I think that's a consequence of the different start date because they didn't have a choice between, before it was like people arrived Wednesday night or Thursday morning. So you had Thursday night and Friday for the meetups. And I don't think they had that option. Um, so yeah, I felt bad. There were several I wanted to get to that I didn't get to, even though I had over 15,000 steps on Friday. Didn't quite make it to all of them, but it was great. There were a lot, and I really appreciated all the different opportunities to get involved and to meet people outside of the conference venue.
I agree. We went to, several of the meetups together, and I enjoyed all of the meetups, and I wish I could have gone to more because I definitely signed up for more. I like quadruple booked myself for the same times. And I'm sure we weren't the only ones.
No, I'm sure we weren't. I did miss the karaoke. That I think would have been really fun.
I agree. And of course, we had the coffee queue on Friday morning. That was super fun, of course, hosted by Coffee Nancy
Yes.
and Lisa Nowakowski. Uh,
Yes, I love the advertising for that, Lisa and Coffee Nancy.
yes.
That was great. I loved being able to host that and to meet all the authors. It's just so inspiring to talk to those people, and then to get a chance to greet all the people that were coming. And there were a lot of new people, I thought, this year, a lot of first time attendees, and to get a chance to chat with them and kind of help them find their way around was really fun.
It was, and I really appreciated them having, not maybe appreciated is the wrong word, but I really enjoyed that they combined the Meet the Author with the coffee queue. So it was all in the same area. And so you could have your coffee, walk around, chat with the authors, chat with, other educators. And I just really enjoyed that it was all contained in that one area. So I think that was a
Well,
great improvement.
I agree. And you know how well coffee goes with books. As long as you're not a klutz like me and spill it, I think it's good.
It was
Uh,
fantastic.
and one of the other things that we both did that I really enjoyed was the Google Innovator Panel. That's always fun. That's always a highlight to meet with friends. You talk about family reunion. That really feels like a family reunion to me. That group of people. And then, wow, Jen Roberts and Data Studio. Who knew? I shared that with somebody today and knocked their socks off. That was so much fun. I can't wait to play with that some more.
Yeah, that I think was the highlight of the innovator panel that day was definitely the data studio. Um, and like you said, it's always great. It does feel like a family reunion, and I was super excited that everything I wanted to do with my slam, we called it a slam, actually worked because it doesn't always work for me, and I'm always afraid Jen is never going to ask me back to do it and be like, "You keep messing it up, Lisa." So I didn't mess it up this year, so I was really excited about that. That was a highlight for me. Nobody else cared, but I cared.
I care. And I'm happy you'll be able to come back next year now.
So, Alice Keeler was doing 3D printed pancakes. I didn't make it over there. I barely made it into the exhibit hall. So, I'm sorry I missed that.
I know, me too. I saw them. I saw pictures of them. I wanted to get a taste, but I didn't manage that. But they just look so much fun. Look like so much fun, and I figure any conference where you can have 3D printed pancakes, you should definitely mention them.
And 3D printed pancakes by Alice Keeler. She's always fantastic to talk to and get ideas from and be inspired by. Definitely.
True, and she was the one that came up with the name Coffee Nancy.
Yes, I do know that. I remember that story. Would you like to share that with
So
our listeners?
yeah, I originally had a much harder to remember username on Twitter, including two underscores, and I wanted to change it to be something more memorable and something that I could use to connect with teachers. But Mini Coetzee, which is my last name, is challenging for some people to spell, so I wanted to use something with Nancy, and of course, there are apparently however many users there are on Twitter, every other one of them is named Nancy. So bouncing back and forth with different ideas, teacher Nancy, Nancy coach, this, that, and the other thing, they were all taken until Alice suggested Coffee Nancy because I love espresso and it was available. So we knew that it would, and it was memorable and people could spell it. So that's how we got the name Coffee Nancy.
I
And
love
it
that
works now.
story.
John Carippo doesn't know my real name. I'm just coffee. I'm just Coffee Nancy as far as he's concerned.
But you are a one of a kind. Um,
Uh, That's true.
And can we talk about the working Wi-Fi on day one?
Oh my gosh.
That
I thought it I thought it wasn't supposed to be a tech conference without Wi-Fi problems. I'm so verklempt.
so shout out to Q for having all of that working on day one. First session, it was all working. So God, way to go. Um, and we had the sticker exchange, the super much sticker exchange.
Yeah, the super much sticker exchange was really fun, but can I tell you, one of the most memorable things was actually Sherman's Deli. Now, if you've ever been to Q or Palm Springs, you know Sherman's Deli is kind of a big important spot there. It's a very popular place to eat, and I often go there for breakfast at Q. But what happened this year, Lisa?
I made it to breakfast. First of all, I made it to Sherman's. Never have been there in the umpteen years that I've been there. But I
Seriously?
made it to breakfast. And JR wasn't even there.
Oh well. Yep, he'll just have to see the pictures. So
Yes.
it looks like it's been 15 minutes already. I
Yes.
can't believe it. So we need to close out to
We
respect
do.
our listeners' time. So
Yes. So thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a comment to let us know. Do you like the new format that we're using? So go ahead and let us know about that too. How is our volume, the video, all of those things. We'd love to hear from you. We're always trying to make it better for you, the listener. And so tonight's comment question is, if you were at Q19, what were some of your highlights? And if not, what makes a conference special for you? And also, we have to say, if you are not already a Q member, you can always join and you can get a free complimentary membership. No strings attached. It's not a 2-week trial period. It can be free forever if you'd like. However, they also do have a premium membership for $40, which unlocks several features, and you can take advantage of things including 10% off most Q events, exclusive access to the collection of Dave Burgess publishing books that are on sale for $10 each. However, that is only at the benefits, sorry, it's only in person at Q conferences. You also get exclusive access to the Steampunk Loaner Kits, and you have voting rights for the Q board. But there's a lot more, so go ahead and go onto their website and find out more about that. That's at q.org and follow the membership link. So go ahead and join us. We're not sure of the date yet. We're still trying to iron out the details, but our next guest will be Susan Stewart. We will definitely have it published by April 3rd. We'll keep you posted on the actual date of the taping if you'd like to listen to that earlier.
okay, thank you. And please don't forget to subscribe to hear more about easy ways for you to innovate in your classroom. If you get a chance, please rate and leave a review for us on iTunes so people can find us more easily. Remember, we are always looking for guests to share the great things they're doing in their classrooms. So if you know someone who fits the bill, or maybe that's you and you'd like to be a guest, please visit our website at tlc.ninja and complete the contact form to let us know. Thanks for listening.